Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here for the very first episode of Main Event POGO, the brand new podcast featuring over here to my left, the SOGMonkey himself, Jesse.
Yep.
And over here to my right, his cousin, the Dizzy Wolf. And of course, I myself am Danny Vile, and we have a lot of exciting topics here today to talk about. Jesse, what are we starting off with?
Well, we're going to start with the shundo rate. We're going to talk about what a shundo rate is.
We got a helicopter in the background right now, some great background noise.
It's all to do.
Now, Jesse, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit, why do you think players don't understand what the shundo rate is?
I think players don't understand the shundo rate because a lot of times they can see odds as something like 120 for a legendary. They think, well, yeah, 220 grades and now with the shiny of the shundo.
Now, Mark, you played a lot of Pokemon recently, right? We just went to Jersey City pretty recently, had a great time there. Now, you know that sometimes the rates aren't actually 120, right?
Not at all.
Now he knows that they're not 120 for a bad reason. But you, on the other hand, have had some pretty incredible luck, especially at the Reggie week leading up to GoFest Global, didn't you?
Yeah, I recently had a lucky streak going for a while.
I mean, I think your cousin over here wanted to throw you in the river.
I thought he was going to.
Well, if you look behind us, there is very clearly a river.
There is.
Don't look that way.
Is that the Mississippi back there?
Yeah,
It is.
indeed it is.
So, now Jesse, I know we did a little research on this over the last couple of days. Now, did we ever determine what the number is to get a shundo out of specifically a legendary raid, and how we kind of came to that conclusion?
So, we kind of did a lot of digging online through like Reddit forums and different kind of forums. And I think we kind of settled on the fact that 4320
Yes.
is the number.
Now, Mark, do you know how we got there?
Not exactly. You guys are the ones doing the math.
All right. So, Jesse, for Mark and for, I'm sure, any viewers out there who may not understand how we got there, what is the math breakdown on that?
Well, you have 1 in 20 for the shiny rate, and then you have
1 in 216 for the hundo
1 in
rate.
26 under rate.
So you got the 1 in 20, and I assume you multiply that by the 1 in 216, and that's how we get to the 1 in 4320, correct?
Right.
So, guys, when you are not lucky, like one of our friends who's done just over 2,100 legendary raids and has gotten 3 shundo legendaries from said raid, you are not very likely to get a shundo from a legendary raid. When it happens, it's a great and exciting moment, and you should be happy. But also, don't feel dejected when you don't, because the odds in this case aren't in your favor.
Yep.
Now, we talked about, both Jesse and Mark, that the rates are 1 in 20 for shiny and 1 in 216 for hundos. But again, guys, what Jesse said, and I know what Mark knows now, is that it is not guaranteed. Just because you do 20 raids does not guarantee you're going to get a shiny.
Right.
And that's not just for raids, that's for anything in this game. Just because the odds are on Community Day. What's the Community Day odds? Do we know offhand?
I believe it's 1 in 25.
Okay, so let's just assume that's correct. 1 in 25. I assume, Mark, you haven't heard anything different?
No.
So, doesn't mean you click on 25, you're guaranteed a shiny. You might click on 50 and not get a shiny, and you might click on 10 and get 2 shinies.
Right.
Like, odds are what they are, guys, and I know some people in our local community sometimes get a little dejected when they feel like the odds aren't working out for them. And that sucks, right? It's a bad feeling. I mean, you know that feeling. I'm sure you've had that feeling too. I know I have. But it's important to remember that, well, it's always great when you get something that you're after, a rare shiny, a hundo. You can't go out expecting. You need to go out with the expectation of having fun spending time with your community and your friends, and playing Pokemon together. That's what it's about. And all the hundos and shundos and shinies and all that stuff, that's an added bonus. Now, guys, when it comes to odds, did we have anything else we wanted to cover with that?
I think we kind of covered pretty much the odds stuff.
Mark, did you have anything?
No, besides sometimes you have a lucky week or two, and sometimes you'll just not be able to get anything really too good for a while. It happens.
Absolutely. You just keep trucking and you keep working at it, and hopefully eventually you get what you're trying to find.
And if you watched the other episodes of this channel, you have seen his luck.
Oh, I never.
Eventually you'll see how my luck is, but it's not good.
I felt bad for you, man.
What was worse, Blacephalon or the Regiweek?
Regiweek was worse.
But not by a whole lot. The Blacephalon was like...
It was 70-something for Blacephalon and then 90-something to get it first time.
And that's crazy, because obviously, like, the Reggie was a little worse objectively, but I almost feel like it probably... I think it felt worse because Mark, at the same time,
I couldn't stop getting them.
And I think that was the hardest part, is when your friend is doing great, you know what I'm saying, and you are not, that can be rough. At least on the Reggies, there are different ones. 70-something Blacephalons is way too many of the same Pokemon over and over and I get the shiny. That shiny looks dope. I mean, it really does. That purple. I mean, it's very... I mean, you've got a shiny Blacephalon, right?
Yeah.
See? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And that's the reason why you also want to help people out with getting the shinies they need too, because sometimes you're not going to be able to get the ones you're looking for, but somebody else is going to have the extras that they can hand out for a few people too.
And lucky trades are really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Speaking of odds, guys, I talk about the community about this all the time. Lucky trades are by far, for everyone out there listening, by far the best way to get a Shundo. And not just a Shundo Legendary, but any Shundo you may be after. We talked about the odds. 1 in 216 from a Legendary raid to get a Hundo, not great odds. 1 in 20 you get a Shiny, you can pound those. 1 in 4320, that's terrible. However, in Lucky Trades, guys, you can control the Pokemon you're sending, right? So you can take that 1 in 20, or whatever the odds are for that particular Shiny, if it's not a Legendary or not, right, and throw them right out the window. It's already guaranteed to be a Shiny. So all you're trying to do is get that 15, 15, 15 at that point, and that's only a 1 in 64. And there's never a more easy and simple, and there's never a better way to get a Shundo than to get a Shiny in a Lucky Trade from a friend or your cousin.
It happened.
What did you get? What did you get?
Well, actually,
I was the one that got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this. Let's hear it.
So we did a trade. It was right after GoFest. I don't think we got it on camera at all, so we didn't talk about it. You traded me something. I don't remember what I traded you, but you traded me a GoFest, and that ended up being a straight up just random shiny trade. Not even lucky. Hundo.
So it was a Shiny that went to a Hundo, and it wasn't even
lucky.
There wasn't. Wow. So no lucky at all. You guys weren't lucky friends, and there wasn't a random lucky
once
frog.
in a while, like after a couple times of doing 100 trades, you will get a Hundo.
Oh yeah,
So you will get one. It's just
But
you're
the
gonna have
odds-
to go through a couple
The
hundred.
odds of getting a Hundo shiny out of a trade is pretty wild.
Yeah, that's
no. I mean it's nuts. I don't know what the trade odds are because it varies depending on your friendship tier, right? Because I know best friends have a 5-5-5 floor, right? And lower tier friends have, I assume, it goes all the way down to 0-0-0, correct? So the odds for that are kind of hard to talk about in depth unless we were gonna like show you a spreadsheet. But yeah, I mean, my only Dynamax, and I've done lots of Dynamax battles. Maybe not as many as the very top players, but plenty. You know what I'm saying? Definitely more than average. I have never gotten a Dynamax Hundo from a Dynamax battle, not one. However, I do have a Dynamax Hundo Gengar that I got from a random trade, just like they talked about. And it wasn't lucky. It just randomly turned into a Hundo. And so it can happen. So if you're out there and you have friends or you have family members, even if they're not your friends or family, if there's people in your community that want to sit there and spam 100 trades with you, do it. Like do your trades. always do your special trade every day, even if you don't have someone lucky to do it with. Just trade a random Dialga with someone else. It could go lucky. It could become a hundo. It is what it is. Now, guys, we have another big topic we're going to talk about today, too. Something that there's a lot of, I don't want to say controversy about, but a lot of varying opinions on.
Yep.
And what is that, Mark? You know what it is?
I'm guessing something with the Dynamax.
No. It's that special thing that we just paid $19.99 for. It was only $19.99. If you know the wrestling reference. Except $9.99. It's the gold bottle cap, guys. There's a lot of talk about, a lot of excitement, but also some controversy. Some accusations of pay to win, and a lot of debate about objectively what the best usage of it was. And some people want that efficiency and want the best way to use it. Other people just want to use it on their favorite Pokemon. Guys, where do you fall on that? Did you guys choose something that you felt like was like your favorite Pokemon, or did you feel like you wanted something that was going to be a hitter?
I wanted something that was like going to be one of my favorites, but also at the same time that was going to be a hitter. So, yeah, I went with one of the dogs we recently got because one of them I didn't get a hundo of. What was it? Yeah, that's the one I.
Shiny background. There you go. See, there you go. That's the play right there. Jesse, what about you?
So I went with shiny background Kyurem, mostly for the fact that I feel like the big hitters kind of right now are the dogs, the Necrozma, and Kyurem because they're so high at CP. And I had a hundo Necrozma, I had a hundo of the dogs,
so that was just the logical choice. Now is it a shundo with the background? See, that adds that little bit of allure to it. Now, guys, I did something kind of weird. I did a Meloetta. I had gotten the gold bottle cap. I had a few days left to use it, and I'd almost finished my shiny Meloetta quest line. And I'm like, I'm never going to get another shiny Meloetta. This is going to be the only one I'm ever going to get. I mean, most likely, right? We never know for sure, but that's their hit. We still haven't gotten another shiny Mew, right? Or Jirachi. What's the other one? Celebi? Celebi. So I'm like, Meloetta's like pretty decent, and I like, she's pretty cute. And a guy like me, maybe, you wouldn't expect me to care about that, but it's a pretty cute Pokemon. And it's going to be the only one I ever had. It didn't come out very good. It was a 12-12-12. So I felt like it was the perfect candidate for the gold bottle cap, which, levels up all three stats. I don't know. I felt like it was the right choice for me, but we heard a wide variety of different choices people made. Now, Mark, did you hear that? A lot of people in our community actually decided on Zygarde. Had you heard that?
Yeah, a lot of people were trying to tell me that it was like probably one of the best options, but honestly, I prefer the dog over it because I don't like its evolution. Because like I prefer the first evolution of it, but once you change the form into the next two, it's like I like them less.
I don't even know what I feel like Zygarde looks like in his final form. I feel like it's like a
big titan.
Yeah, he looks like if Pacific Rim had featured a dragon, like it kind of looks like that. And the dog is pretty cute, and the middle form is it's like a slug guy. I mean,
it's like a snake thing.
Yeah, like a snake slug, like weird. Like it's not the most aesthetically pleasing, I don't think, for most people. But we had a lot of people go with Zygarde, didn't we?
Yeah.
Now I will say, when it comes to Zygarde, guys, like, we all know Zygarde doesn't do much in PvE. In fact, I think I looked at him.
I heard he was good for doing battles.
Oh, no, that's what
PvE.
I said. PvE.
Oh.
Yeah, so in PvE, I think I glanced, and he's something like the 62nd rank or something like Dragon Attacker in PvE. Maybe that's not exactly right, but it's way down the list, When you have Rayquaza, and you have Shadow Palkia now, Shadow Dialga now, right? Like, you have... And then Origin forms, and then just all the hitter dragons have like always been hitters. Shadow Dragonite, Shadow Garchomp, all those different things. Zygarde is pretty far down the list, but we do have guys in our community who do like PvP. And for a long time, Zygarde was, I believe, the first or second ranked PvP Pokemon in the game. And so I understand why some of our comrades went that way. Unfortunately for them, though, and people have probably seen this if they pay attention to the competitive scene, that Zygarde's got knocked down the ranks a little bit in PvP. The Crown Shield and Crown Sword, Zamazenta and Zacian, respectively, have really been hitting the PvP scene. Have you guys seen that?
I've even went into the PvP a little bit when I had a task with the dogs. So.
What about you? Have you done any PvP lately?
I never do.
Next
Anytime I receive any tasks or anything for that, I don't do it.
Well, don't you? Isn't there a point where you'll have to do it if you want to advance in level? Or have
That's
you already
what
passed
I'm
that?
talking about next.
I will battle him.
Does
Well,
that
you
work?
can't. You have to do the Go Battle League.
I think he's already passed that, isn't he? He's not? What level is he? Mark, what level are you?
48.
It's 49 to 50.
Is it really? Because because
I guess I'll never get past 49.
see, I have not had to do those leveling tasks in so long, right? But I feel like from like 43 to 44, there's also battling tasks.
So, I think it's
30,
43. You have to do
30, 30,
battle
30.
in the Great League, Ultra League, and Master League, but that you can do it for free.
Except there's the fourth task, and I know this just because one of my friends went through it recently. I do know what you're talking about. It's like 30, 30, 30, right?
Yeah.
But then the fourth one is you actually have to
Yeah.
go and do, I think you have to get 20 wins, I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just 20 battles, one of the two. You do actually have to go in there, and I know that kind of, maybe not as...
So level 51, or to get to level 50, is you have to get rank 10.
Rank 10, okay.
So you actually do have to start with rank.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of battling I'm not doing.
You're gonna eventually have to do it if you want to get to level 50.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like I'm staying level 49.
Yeah, forever 49. There you go. I've heard a lot of women say that. Once they get there, they're 49 forever. They're never 50, never 51. So, guys, that kind of brings us to an interesting segue here because we talked about the gold bottle caps. We talked about what we use them on. We talked about Zygarde. I know we had people. Put it this way. First off, guys, for everyone listening, everyone should use their bottle cap on what makes them happy. Okay? Now, for some people like me, efficiency and effectiveness are what makes me happy. I want to use it on a banger. You know what I'm saying? For other people, like maybe eventually you, maybe we'll see Jesse one day use his on a shiny Bidoof. So he can have his Shundo Bidoof. And that's okay too. Like there's no problem with that. Not every bottle cap you ever get in this game has to go to a background shiny, sword form Zacian. Just use your bottle cap that you paid for, right, on your account, the game that you play, the way that you want to. Now, we'll be here to give you suggestions in the future, I'm sure, but you should do what makes you happy because at the end of the day, it's a game and it's mostly a cooperative game that we play for fun. It's not Overwatch, it's not League of Legends, it's not this hyper competitive thing, So enjoy yourself and play the way you want to. We saw a lot of people use them on Armor Mewtwo, I saw a couple of. I saw some shiny Gigantamaxes.
I saw Shaman.
Shaman. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we had a little conference about that.
Didn't somebody use it on a Ditto?
I think they were going to, but they didn't yet.
Oh,
I thought they did already.
I know who you guys are talking about again. I'm not going to name drop, but I know exactly who it is. But guys, that leads us again into kind of an interesting segue. Now that I've added this thing that people should play the game the way they enjoy, is that I feel like a lot of us know where our next gold bottle cap is going to go, and that kind of brings us into our next topic, which is
the max final of GoFest, which is, as of recording this, just announced that the Eternus is making its debut.
And I am stoked. Mark, have you seen the CP on Eternatus?
Well, you guys were telling me about it before, and it's a lot.
59 something or other if it's a hundo and it's all the way max, right? And I mean, guys, I don't know who's not going to use their bottle cap on that. I feel like
They kind of forced you because it's like, how could you not? It's going to be a very powerful one to bottle cap.
And we're only going to get the one from this event, correct? That's been confirmed by Niantic at this juncture, or Scopely, I guess, however you want to look at it. And guys, that's crazy. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Eternatus is going to require an insane amount of candy. I mean, numbers that you've never even thought of when leveling up a Pokemon. Now, we are going to get an increased amount of candy from doing, I believe, Gigantamax, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Eternatus battles, but I still feel like it's going to be a grind.
Right.
And after, knowing you're only going to get one, buying particle packs on the shop, grinding, probably even maybe having to pour some rare candy in there at the end too if you get unlucky or you just don't quite do enough. I don't see how you couldn't use your gold bottle cap on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's begging for a gold bottle cap. So unless you're one of, I guess, every 216 trainers who gets the hundo, that's probably what you're doing.
Right.
Now, guys, there's a lot going on with this event, and obviously Eternatus is like the big draw. Yeah. Like, can you think of anything about the event that's bigger than the Eternatus?
No, I thought that was all that was happening.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he's a huge Pokemon, but also figuratively. But we do have a lot of other stuff going on that week. And Jesse, you want to kind of dive into some of that for the viewers?
So, I believe a big majority of this, unless they drop a box of some sort, it's gonna be a lot of money if you're wanting to play with these particle packs, because you're gonna need to do, if you're gonna want to do everything, you're gonna need to do Dynamax stuff, you're gonna need to do Gigantamax stuff. Every Gigantamax will be available during that weekend.
Every single one.
Every single one.
All the legendaries too?
Yep.
So, yep. So guys, real quick, what Mark's asking about here is everything max battle related, whether Dynamax, Gigantamax, or in some cases both, right? Depending on the Pokemon, they're all coming back. And they all have a spot, but their spots kind of vary, guys. Now, Mark asks about the legendaries are Dynamax, right? So if we refer to the chart, which maybe he can throw a little screenshot of the chart up here in post-production, there's days during the week where the Dynamax legendary is going to come out. I believe we have one day that has Latios, and then a 2-day period with the Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos, and then another 2-day period where we'll have Entei, Raikou, and Suicune. So during the week is when you'll be.
I'm gonna want to do all of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a lot of this, guys. Just open up that wallet, and
if you want to grind the Gigantamax, it's gonna be difficult because you're gonna only get 1 hour.
And guys, he doesn't mean 1 hour each day. He means 1 hour total throughout the weekend. The Gigantamaxes are only going to be up Saturday and Sunday, and you get 1 hour. So there'll be 1 hour, and yes, I assume every max spot at the location you're playing at is going to be Charizard, but after that hour, you're done with Charizard for the whole weekend. There's no more. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a good decision on their part?
I don't think it's a good decision. And especially like how much stuff they're going to be putting out, how much this is going to cost. Like, I feel like they should have spread this out a little bit more.
I think we need a box, like I said at the beginning. I think an hour is just too little for people that want to grind for, say, for example, for a shiny or a hundo. I don't think it's a good idea.
No. He mentioned shiny or hundo, guys, and that we also mentioned spending, and both of those things are going to come up here when we're talking about this. There is going to be a free battle pass with this event that does allow everyone, even totally free-to-play players, access to catch an Eternatus. With that being said, there's also a paid version of the pass we've seen, which it seems like offers mostly increased rewards of kind of what we're already getting, candy, just kind of the standard stuff you come to expect from the battle pass. However, and the costume item, guys. We don't want to forget the helmet. See, this is where I'm going to be a little honest, keep it 100 with you guys. I feel like there's 4 pieces to this costume, and they're only giving us one of them, right?
Well,
so Mark, what do you think they're trying to get us to do?
Trying to get you to get the rest of the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
After you have the one piece, then it's like, well, I gotta have the rest of it. You're gonna try to get people to get the rest then.
No, I mean, absolutely. One Piece, a very popular anime, but it's not very popular. Only have one piece of a cool outfit. You know what I'm saying?
And for instance, for me and you, we are not going to use that.
No.
I'm not.
No, I mean, it's Mohawk, Lucario hat, or mask, right? And then Bidoof hat. And I think that's probably where the 3 of us are going to stay. Maybe, he's going to stay there forever. I
don't know if I'll ever change it unless they come out with a cooler thing.
Is there, let me ask you, just totally random question. Is there a Pokemon mask that you would pick over Lucario off the top of your head?
It depends on how it looks. That's what it comes down to. Does it look good or does it look bad? Because if it looks bad, I'm not going to use it, even if I like the Pokemon hat. Even if it's an Eevee hat, I'm good. If it doesn't look better than the Lucario mask, I'm just not switching.
What if it's like mine, where it's just like, it looks like a video just on your head? But it's just an Eevee on your head.
Maybe.
I think they make those in real life pretty much, like the Eevee hats. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the Gengar hat I have. Maybe. I haven't worn it in a while, but I have a Gengar hat, and I'm pretty sure I saw an Eevee one that was very similar.
I have a Bidoof one that's exactly the same as my Pokemon Go one.
See? So you could get one in real life even. I think with a mask, like Mark's talking about, if it looks good, I think I get what he's saying. Like, sometimes some of the masks in Pokemon Go, like, they look kind of natural, and they kind of, like, cover your whole face, or most of it at least. And then some, they're like these little half masks. And I don't like that.
There's some that just, they don't quite just match the rest of you, what you're wearing, and then also they just kind of don't really fit your style or anything like that.
Yeah, it's very interesting how they chose to do it. But guys, we are getting the helmet as part of the Battle Pass, and if you want the other 3 pieces, you're going to have to shell out some coinage in the shop. That's just the unfortunate reality of the situation. But what I was going to get to with the Battle Pass, Jesse, is that we saw earlier that there's increased shiny odds through the premium version of the Battle Pass, but only, guys, this is important, only for max battles from 1 to 4 stars. So, Jesse, what does that not include?
That does not include Gigantamax Pokemon like Charizard and all those, and that also does not include the legendaries.
So the stuff that people would have paid for.
That's the tough part for me, is like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I play this game a lot. I love spending time with my friends. I'm probably still buying the pass one way or the other. But it does feel a little bad that we're going to be dropping, I would assume, another $20 on this. And we're not going to get a lucky trinket. We're not going to get a gold bottle cap. We're just going to get increased odds to get a shiny Caterpie. And I don't know, that's not great. I mean, just objectively, like, you know, I have a lot of respect for Niantic and Scopely and the amount of work and effort they put into the game. And there have been improvements. I think gold bottle caps are a great thing for players. But this, to me, wasn't the play. I think they could have extended those increased shiny odds to everything.
And there's not going to be that many people, I feel like, they're actually going to buy the pass, because it's like, buy the pass or buy particle packs. You're going to buy particle packs over the pass, because you're going to get so much more out of particles than you are out of the pass.
Unless, now we did see, I know I didn't get into it, I kind of spaced, but we did see there are going to be particles in the pass, and even more particles if you buy the premium pass. But the question is, how many particles you get in comparison to if you just took that $20 and bought particle packs, right? And we don't know that yet, right? We probably won't know that until pretty much almost event time, I would assume.
The week of.
Yeah, the week of probably. So that's kind of a mystery. Now, guys, what is your favorite? Okay, I'll ask you 2 different questions. What Dynamax Pokemon are you most excited to see back? And then what Gigantamax Pokemon are you most excited to see back?
I gotta say, I'm mainly just looking for those legendary dogs and like the birds as well. Like, I'm mainly focused on legendaries for this whole thing.
Okay, so what you're saying is for Saturday.
Blastoise, I will be chasing that.
Okay, so what you're saying is on the weekend you'll be waiting for that Blastoise hour. Only the 1 hour, guys. Don't forget. But during you think you'll be out pretty often during the week. Latios, the legendary birds, legendary dogs, trying to get shinies of those. Is that kind of what your goal is?
Yeah, because it's going to cost so much that it's like I got to prioritize the most important things. And then after doing all those, if I manage to get nice ones of them all, then I would do the other stuff, but I don't imagine that's going to help.
But at least with the legendary, you're getting at least a full day.
Yeah, I mean, 1 day for Latios, and I assume that's just because we're getting them so close to it. There's no reason they can come back in 2 days. But you will have 2 days with the birds and then 2 days with the dogs. But we got to remember, guys, those aren't going to be the only things that are going to be up. So it's not like we're going to roll out to the park here. Usually the park we're at right now filming today, we get 4, sometimes even 5 power spots kind of right on top of each other. But it's not just going to be all dogs or all birds. we're going to have to compete with Caterpies and Darumakas and Squirtles and Grookey's and all that stuff too, you know? So
it especially depends on what kind of packs are like, what they're going to put out there for what you can purchase. Because if they put something out there where you can actually get a whole lot of particles for a good, decent price, then I would do a lot more. But it just depends on what deals they put out during that
It
time.
would be nice if they put something out like the 99 raid packs that we get from
That would honestly be perfect, and I think that would be a really smart idea for them to take advantage of this, because people are going to be spending more than $100 worth of particles probably. So if they put a deal out there, it would sell a lot.
I mean, I don't disagree, guys. We've had conversations about this, that even though we have this 99 raid pass box, guys, I love the 99 raid pass box, and these guys can tell you whenever it comes up, you know, whenever a big event's coming up, I remind people, guys, if you need raid passes, make sure a week or two before the event, you're watching your shop. When that comes up, that's the thing to buy. It's the best value. And Scopely, you're going to make money if you put the part, like, if Scopely ever watches this, anyone who's watching this works for Scopely, has associations at Scopely, tell them that people will spend more if they feel like they're getting their money's worth out of what they're buying. If you give them a good deal, they'll wind up spending more. And some people, guys, are just going to have a flat budget, right? Some people are I can only spend $100 for this. Guys, if you let them do more for that $100, they're going to remember that, and they're going to spend more with you in the future. They're also going to have more fun because they're going to get to do more things with their friends. Like, the social factor in this game is what drives sales, in my opinion. Like, people spend more when they're out with their friends and they're having fun. And when they're not able to do what their friends are doing because you're charging maybe a little too much sometimes, then they have less fun and they play less, which means less spending over time, right? You want to keep the players engaged, you want to keep them spending. I mean, that makes sense. Now, Jesse, I'm going to shoot over to you because I asked Mark, so I got to ask you, what Dynamax and then also what Gigantamax are you most excited for their returns for this event?
So, for Dynamax, I'm most excited for the birds. When those came out, I wasn't able to make those.
I remember you. Did you even make? I think you made one of them, right?
I made Moltres.
Okay.
So I'm looking for Zapdos, Articuno mostly, but yeah.
So
yeah, we were both about the same in that situation. I think we got like one of each mostly.
no bueno, guys, no bueno. So the birds for you seem to be it for the Dynamax. What about the Gigantamax?
Gigantamax, honestly, Polytoxicity. I didn't get one during Wild Area. Shiny, and I want a shiny one.
Okay, so you did get some, just not a shiny. Because I mean, I remember you were streaming over Wild Area because I was in Florida. I sometimes make some bad planning decisions when it comes to trips. I think it was Thanksgiving, and I put it right next. Why would they do that? Anyhow, I was gone and I was watching his stream while he was playing with the whole community back up here, and it was really cool. It also made me a little sad because I felt like I was missing out, and then I was watching and it was great, but I was reminded I was missing out, right?
Right.
So, guys, for me, real quick, and then we'll kind of move on and talk a bit more about Max Finale here. For me, it'd be Gengar, but I have a Hundo Gigantamax Gengar, so I think for Gigantamax, for me, it's got to be. Everyone's gonna hate me. Everyone local who watches this is gonna know what I'm gonna say. Rillaboom. I just think he's gonna be the only good Gigantamax grass attacker ever. Like, I just want the Hundo. Probably not gonna get it. Sucks I can't get him shiny yet, but I'm still excited for it. And I think Dynamax, man, I gotta say the dogs. I think for the same reason with the birds for you. It's not that I totally missed any of them, but I definitely didn't get to do as many of some of them as I would have liked. I didn't do as many of those as I did the birds for sure. So
yeah, I don't think I remember you were at Sleeptown. I think you were on vacation.
I think I was, and I might have done like one or two. You know what I'm saying, with like a few people in a different area, but like it wasn't what I would do if I was here, right? They don't get out of their cars in Florida, guys. 75 degrees, don't want to get out of the car. Now, what else do we have to look forward to for Max? Now, you said the wild spawns earlier. We talked about the wild spawns, right, guys? And Jesse, you want to tell them a little bit about what those are going to entail?
So it's mostly going to be the starters, so Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, all those. But most of the wild spawns are spawns that you can get in the Dynamax raids.
In fact, I think all of them are correct. They're all Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon.
Well, isn't there one that's not out yet?
As of this recording, yes, it's not. But by finale, it'll be.
Now, Mark, I'm going to ask you on this one. How do you feel about that? Are you happy to see that because you can maybe get more candies for the Gigantamax and Dynamax when you do catch?
It makes sense they did that because the candy is for people to boost up the Dynamax Pokemon they have. That like they have good stats of. They're going to want to have them like best as they can have for the battles.
Yeah, and you got to have the candy for that.
Yeah.
Now, how would you feel if I told you that the inverse opinion is probably, well, I can get all of those in Dynamax or Gigantamax form. Why would I want to get a bunch of random ones from the wild? What would you think if someone told you that?
I think that it's like they're not out there for like keeping. Those ones are out there for you to build up the candy to boost up your Dynamax or all that.
Mark, I agree with you. If I catch any of those wild ones, they are getting released unless they're a hundo. If they're not a hundo, they're probably just going right to the grinder. I mean, this is what it is.
Yeah, like just mainly like think about it as like you're looking for like the extra large or extra small or the shiny for completing things in your decks. Like just think about it as something to complete the decks for all those Pokemon. You're just chasing, trying to grind those out and get them out of your Pokédex complete.
Or if you're in our case, looking for the luckies.
Yep, that too. That'll help with luckies. There won't be many.
These guys are nuts. Jesse decides one day, I'm going to try to have a...
Listen, I was in the hospital.
Well, okay, but listen, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, everyone should have goals in game, right? We talked about that last night, actually. Everyone should have... Obviously, there are things the game wants us to do, but there are things we should want to do, too. Whether it's a shiny dex, a lucky dex, a hundo dex, whatever it is, right? But Jesse decided he wanted to do a lucky dex, and then kind of yoinked you right on in with it, didn't he?
Oh, I've been wanting to go for a complete dex, but I wasn't chasing the luckies until he started going for it. Then it was like, hey, if you're wanting to do that, I'm totally with it.
Well, as the laws of Cuz v. Cuz dictate, you guys, it's got to be a competition. You know what I'm saying?
If it's a competition, I'm winning.
Wow!
Way ahead of me. Like, he is way out of my reach.
You know, all you have to do is bow leave, Mark, and one day you'll get there.
I do not believe.
So, guys, outside of that, is there anything about Max Finale that we maybe haven't touched on?
I don't believe so.
Because we talked about the Dynamax spawns, the Gigantamax spawns, how those are going to operate. We've talked about Eternatus. We've talked about the Battle Pass, both free and paid.
I guess the one thing we haven't talked about is how it's going to affect things like Max Monday and Raid Hour.
Really? So,
I didn't think about Raid Hour.
So, actually, that's a astoundingly good point. We're not having a Max Monday that week, are we?
Nope. Or a Raid Hour.
Well,
but we'll have a Raid Hour on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, so 0 Max Monday, guys. But, I mean, it'll be okay. There's plenty of Dynamax, cool Dynamax Pokemon everywhere. But Jesse's got a great point. I promise you, in our community, there's going to be, I'm not saying a ton, but there'll be 5 or 6 people who are going to show up at the normal location Wednesday night, and there ain't going to be nobody there because there's no Raid Hour that night. We do have I believe, a Crown Sation and Zamazenta Raid Hour, but one is on Thursday and one's on Friday, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday, I guess we'll be taking a nap, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so as of editing this, there is a Raid Hour. It's actually Zacian and Zamazenta without the crown form. So, we didn't know at the recording, but we know now.
Now, I do wonder, because Scopely and Niantic try to deliver us all the information the best way they know how, but sometimes they leave something out or, overlook something. I do wonder if we're still going to get a normal Wednesday Raid Hour, and that just hasn't really been clarified, and it's just going to be the normal forms of either one, right? I think that's a possibility, guys. So, listen, I know we said for sure no Wednesday Raid Hour at first. it doesn't seem like there's one right now, but like make sure to check into it. Like don't skip your normal raid hour based on what we said right now. Just keep an eye open and see, you know?
As of right now, there's not one.
Yes, as far as we know. But we're also not Scopely employees. I sometimes wish I was. Now,
Or at least
I would love that. I'm not going to say too much about that on camera, though. Now, guys, we kind of talked about the odds. We talked about the bottle cap, and then kind of transition into max finale. Guys, was there anything you kind of, before we get going for the day, was there anything you guys thought that you wanted to add? Was there any last thoughts, parting thoughts, ideas that maybe you had throughout the show but didn't get a chance to expand on?
I mean, I think just kind of make sure you're staying on top of your budget with max finale, especially if particles are way too expensive right now. And
Yeah, and definitely keep an eye out for anything they put out there, because they do put a deal out there. Who knows if they're just going to be like, oh, for one day you get this deal.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have a great point. Guys, I say this in the local community all the time. They know this. I remind everyone, it's a game. At the end of the day, like, we love Pokemon. We love Pokemon Go. We love our local community. But everyone's got to make sure their bills are paid. Like don't go spending your rent money or your grocery money on the event. You know, set a budget, a responsible budget for yourself, and stick to that budget, even if it leads to a little disappointment here and there. That's very important. Actually, that's a great parting message. Guys, any last words, Jesse?
no, got nothing.
Last words?
Good luck, everybody.
And guys, with that, we're going to wrap up the first episode. For Jesse over here, SOGMonkey. For ThatDizzyWolf over here, I'll just say Mark because I already said it about 14 times. And for myself, it was great having you guys with us today, and we'll see you next episode.
Peace.